and Uganda Minister Betty Amongia Gena was under the UPC ticket. So I can see a huge convoy of cars coming on the main streets of Lena City in celebration. People are happy. They are for the orders, cruising around. People are enjoying. People are playing music. People are dancing. People are singing. You can hear from the background. One of their daughters, whom they highly believe in arms, has already made it for the second term in Parliament. If you may remember, Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng was first appointed health minister when she wasn't a member of Parliament. So she would always go to the Parliament as an ex-official. But last term, when Lena City was granted a city status, she was the first duly elected woman member of Parliament for Lena City in 2021. So this will be our second term. Yes, the woman member of Parliament for Lena City.
Yes, Eddie, thank you so much. And yes, Eddie?
Yes.
Thank you so much. There, the Health Minister, Jane Cheng, has won the race in City. She bounces back. She first won the parliamentary seat in 2021 and now bounces back on the NRM ticket.
That has been one of the hottest in Lira for the woman district member of parliament seat for Lira.
Indeed.
And it has had its highs and its lows. And finally, the Ugandans have, chosen the one that they see fit to, hold that mantle, to take on that mantle for the woman district member of parliament. Of course, congratulations to Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng for having a second term. This is a second term in the Lira woman member of parliament seat.
Indeed.
All right. Well, as we promised, we will be giving you more updates across the country. We have our team spread out, ready to collect and give you the provisional results and paint you a picture of what is happening in the different parts of the country. And we here at Broadcast House will bring that also to you. Now, we would like to give you a recap of the Electoral Commission update that was held earlier on at around 10 a.m. Here on your screen, but also to remind you that there will be more updates from the Electoral Commission throughout the day. The latest I've heard will be around 2.
We thank you for this time
Of Uganda.
in the history of our nation. We thank you for the Electoral Commission. We thank you for the people of Uganda. We thank you for this land that you have given us. We pray, O God, that may your peace and your mercy and your protection continue to reign over Uganda, over the people of Uganda, over the leadership of Uganda, over the Electoral Commission. We pray, O Lord, as we begin today's business, that your presence will abide with us, that your peace will continue to reign over us, and that your joy will fill us and keep us safe. We give you back all the praise, all the glory, and all the honor. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you very much, Susan. You may take. I'll take this pleasure to welcome you all and to hand over to the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Justice Byabakama Mugenyi Simon, to take us forward in today's program. Lord Chair, you're welcome.
Thank you, members of the Commission, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors, High Commissioners present, and heads of missions, representatives of political parties, stroke presidential candidates, our distinguished guests, international, local observers, media, and all invited guests. Good morning. We are gathered here today to once again update you and the nation at large on the results of the presidential elections that we have received so far at this tally center. The total number of registered voters on the National Voters Register is 21,649,067. Total number of polling stations, 50,739. The total number of stations from which we have received results so far is 22,758, representing 44.85% of the total number of polling stations. These are the results so far per candidate. Bulira Frank Kavinga, 23,267, representing 0.45% of the valid votes cast. Kasavante Robert, 15,929, representing 0.31% of the total votes cast. Chagulanyi Centam Robert, 1,312,047, represent 1,312,047,000, representing 19.85% of the total votes cast. Maveriz Joseph, 10,910, representing 0.21% of the total votes cast. Mugisha Muntu Gregory Mugisha Gregory Muntu Oyera, 29,504, representing 0.57% of the total votes cast, total valid votes cast. Munyagwa Mubarak Serunga, 14,742, representing 0.28% of the valid votes cast. Nandara Mafabi James Nathan, 108,301, representing 2.08% of the total votes cast. Yoweri Tuhaburwa Kaguta Museveni, 3,960,438, representing 76.25% of the total valid votes cast. Valid votes in total so far, 5,194,338. Invalid votes so far, 129,441, representing 2.43% of the total votes cast. Total votes, 5,323,779, representing 24.59% of the registered voters on the National Voters Register. Spoiled votes, 17,281. That is the position currently. Now, as we indicated in our opening remarks yesterday, we shall be releasing these results at regular intervals. And therefore, our next session will be at 2 p.m. See you then.
Now we are heading into an official announcement from the Ministry of Education and Sports. Official announcement on the reopening of all schools and education institutions. Reference is made to official announcement issued on the 6th January 2026 by the Ministry of Education and Sports regarding the reopening of all schools and education institutions across the country on the 2nd February 2026. The ministry hereby informs you that due to the general elections and to ensure the safety of all learners, all schools and education institutions across the country are directed to reopen on Tuesday, 10th February 2026. For avoidance of doubt, this includes all international schools, tertiary institutions and universities. Vice chancellors, principals, head teachers, parents, guardians, school administrators, students, and the public are hereby notified that Term 1 for the academic year 2026 runs from Tuesday, 10th February 2026 to 1st May 2026. All school administrators are directed to adhere firmly to these dates and the approved school calendar published on the ministry website, that is www.education.go.ug school calendars, assigned by Dr. Cadrens R. Turiagenda, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Education and Sports, on this 16th day of January 2026. So schools are going to reopen on the 10th of February 2026.
And not the 2nd of February.
Yes, the Ministry of Education has just pronounced
clarified
this,
that.
yes.
And I think it's a good thing because, of course, for the safety, but also giving space for the releasing of the results for the PLE, UCE, and UACE.
Yes.
So all that will have to be compacted in between January and into Feb as well. But that's
Yes,
a
yes,
good gesture. So teachers, principals, and even the parents, now you know that on the 10th of February, schools will be reopening. It has been confirmed and it's solid. And like we promised, we will be giving you updates from across the country online. Right now, we have Ronald Mugabi, who is in Tororo, here to give us an update on what's happening, the situation, how the situation is looking like in Tororo, and also some of the results released there. Ronald, good afternoon. You are live.
Yes, good afternoon to you. This is Ronald, and of course, Tororo, as you can see across the country, what is going on now is tallying of the final, taking tallies of the final votes, especially for members of parliament. And just to let you in on at least the latest we have is that as of yesterday, at least the people of Tororo municipality went to bed knowing who would be coming in for them. That is Sam Jetana, who managed to aggregate more than his contender, that is Apollo Yeri. But of course, at the moment, what's going on is a neck-to-neck, especially with the woman member of parliament, Court Angela and Sarah Opendi, are toe-to-toe. So we are yet to really get a final aggregate, but we will be keeping our ears here to ensure that we give you that information.
All right, Ronald. What has been the situation mostly when it came to the celebration? Was it all smooth, or there was a bit of resistance from the other different parties that he was standing against?
Well, of course, it was quite dramatic yesterday. Of course, as Shyam and Apollo, who were toe-to-toe, we had incidents where Apollo's supporters started on celebration, but of course, that was cut short after the final aggregating was done, and of course, by the district returning officer here, who was able to give the final announcement, and then the paperwork has already been drafted, so that's one at least we can say. But of course, celebrations for Shyam Jetana are still ongoing even up to now. I've been going through the town, and you could see young youthful men and some ladies, holding the insignia of their candidate, and also the PLU insignia.
All right, the current winner, is it the first time that he had been standing for the post, or he has been, is this the first time that he's taking up the post, and is it the first time that he's been standing for the same post as well?
Yeah, Shyam comes in, of course, after Apollo, because Apollo is the incumbent and Shyam is the new now kid on the block. Of course, many of you will be uncle or father, who is Sanjay Tana, who was there before Apollo came in. I'm sure the name rings a bell quite a lot, but looking at what is on ground, because this is a youthful candidate, and he was able to rally so many youth, and you can see the majority of the people here are very youthful and very energetic, of course, coming to his cause, and I think that has been the rally cause, being for his first time. Of course, many thought that his father would come in, but after the pulling out of his dad, then he was able to come in, and by surprise, of course, you can see that the numbers are not really lying, and we could see a return of the Tana name, but of course, this time around, a much younger Tana, like he has been dubbed here, especially by most of his opponents. Of course, those are some of the rhetorics you can see on the ground, but we are likely to see him come into Parliament this electoral year.
Thank you so much, Ronald Mugabi, who is in the Tororo district, and indeed a new kid on the block, and the numbers do not lie, for sure. And we do, of course, wish him all the best as an independent, coming into Parliament. It's a new playing field for him, first of all, and also coming in as an independent. So we do wish him all the best in representing his people and his constituency. Brian?
Indeed. UBC UG polls 2026. Now let's look at the neck-to-neck race in Kampala Central. The battle for the Kampala Central Member of Parliament seat remains too close to call as vote tallying continues at the District Tally Centre at Kololo Independence Grounds. Early figures indicate a tight contest between NRM's Misa Kabanda and NUP flag bearer David Louis Lubongoya in what UG polls, UBC UG polls 2026. Yeah, we are covering a 360 coverage of the UG polls 2026, and now I'm joined on the phone call with one of our foot soldiers who is in Entebbe for us. That is Sula Kagugube. Sula Kagugube.
Yes, my brother.
Osibyo tya sebo? Yes, sebo. Webale kusima sebo. What is happening in Entebbe?
Okay, thank you so much, my brother. Generally, no any cases of violence reported so far. And if you move around along into the streets, they are all empty. Shops are still closed. So meaning, most of the people, they are still at home. So basically, the situation is calm. And of course, everything which is happening, we are currently waiting results from our district. Of course, we are waiting for the declaration. So the seat competition between Shaka Stephen Gashaija, the NRS brother bearer, and Nagata Namri Joyce, who is on no ticket. So, of course, as supporters, they are eagerly waiting for the declaration, as police and security agencies are patrolling every corner to ensure that there is no any single case of violence reported in Entebbe municipality.
Sula.
Yes.
Our viewers want to really understand what the security is, how does the security is, are the people in Entebbe operating as usual, are the shops open, or they're eagerly waiting and looking forward on what is happening what is coming out from the polls, I mean the results?
Okay, what I can tell our viewers, all businesses are still at standstill. Of course, they are waiting for the official declaration for the president and, of course, these members of parliament. If you move around Entebbe municipality, all the shops are closed. Actually, even yesterday we are closed and they still remain closed. So as they wait for official declaration, we are hopeful maybe by tomorrow they would have declared the member of parliament for Entebbe municipality. I can give you an example, my brother. Today being the market day here at Abaita Ababidi. But if you look around, all streets are empty, and of course you can't see any hawk around. So meaning people are still at home waiting for maybe to hear from Electoral Commission. But of course for supporters, they are eagerly waiting. If you look at around different maybe camps, you can see they are eagerly waiting, and most of them travel to Wakiso, of course, to be there and witness as Electoral Commission declare their candidacy winners.
Ku byewakakuŋŋaanyawo Sula, ani aleebye ani awo mu lwokaano olwo?
Mu lwokaano luno wazibidde ebyabadde biva mu kubala akalulu. Of course kino si kyankalakkalira n'ebyabadde bigaga nti muna NRM Shaka Stephen Gashaija kyakulembedde mu lwokaano olwo ng'aleebya munne Nabata Joyce owa National Unity Platform. N'okutuusa leero ebyo bye tukyalinawo naye nga tulinda akakiiko k'ebyokulonda naye nga tusuubira nti essaawa yonna bajja kuba balangirira naye ng'ate okusinziira ku RDC w'Entebbe Frank Kyazze ko naye wano mabegako atukakasizza nti bw'oba oliawo bo omuwanguzi bamulabye dda tetusobola kwogera kati kubanga obuyinza tetubulina naye ategeeza nti guno gwe mulundi ogusookedde ddala bw'oba oliawo mu byafaayo okuviira ddala mu kalulu ka 2020 bw'oba ojjukira nti ekibiina kya NRM kibadde kisanga obuzibu mu kufuna obuwagizi bwakyo mu bantu ababa beesimbyewo okuviira ddala ku mukulembeze w'eggwanga naye ku mulundi guno agamba bw'oba oliawo ensolo ku kizibu kweri era nga mu bitundu by'Entebbe obwagenza okwongera ku kifo ky'obwa pulezidenti Yoweri Kaguta Museveni kibuhabulwa ng'avuddeyo n'obuwanguzi mu bitundu by'Entebbe.
Okay, Sula, thank you so much for that update, and we shall be joining you later on. That was our foot soldier on ground in Entebbe, Sula Kagugube. UBC UG Polls 2026.
All right, and as we continue to bring you updates on what is happening in the different parts of the country, and not only that, we have some provisional results of what has been happening in the parliamentary race for the parliamentary seats in the different parts of the country. We will start with, of course, Busiro County North, and this is what it looks like. We see for the provisional results, we see Mayanja Moses of the party taking 56.84%, which registers a 19,319 votes. And looking at another, we see Semaganda Ronald of the National Unity Platform taking on 43.16%. That registers to 14,667 votes. And of course, if we can move to the next county. All right, still with, of course, Busiro County, these have been the standings in that particular county. All right, now let's look at Chiboga West County. We do see a registered win for Lule Eria Eric, still under the NRM party. He has registered a 61.25% win, which also registers as a 9,235, and we also do see Mutumba Abdul, who is an independent, with 5,846. All right, the Kinkizi County East, and we do see which also is the county of the Minister of ICT, Chris Baryomunsi. As you do see on the pie chart right here, he did register a win of 20. That is Kikinzi County. Let's get into that again. We did register a win for Kikinzi County, that is under the NRM leadership. All right, we look at the Apache municipality. We do see, remember, these are provisional results. We do see Achan Patrick, who is an independent candidate, taking on the lion's share with a 72.09%, which registers to a 9,138 votes. An opponent coming in second, that is Nechwan Isaac Emma Odong for the NRM party, coming in with 27.9%. That registers to a 3,538%. All right, let's maybe take one more for the road. Let's take one more for the road. All right, now let's get into how the country is faring. All right. Still, with some more, let's look at the Kakumiro district. Like we did say earlier on today, Kakumiro did register
the Right Honorable Robina Nabanja. A win for her, and then of course a win for the NRM party as well, with a 78.01%, registering to 78,533 votes, of course, which gave her a win. And we did see to Shemerere Grace, who is an independent candidate, coming in second with the 21.99%, registering with the 22,136 votes. We will continue to give you more updates on what is happening in our country, and more so what is now, as you can see here, the map of Uganda. You can see the activity that is going on right here. It's really hot, I should say, when it comes to results coming in as they go. I will take a particular into the district of Moroto, and as you can see how the presidential race is going on in Moroto district. You see Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for the NRM party. He has taken on a 90.76%, a total of 24,960 votes. And coming in second, you see Chagulanyi Sentamu Robert for the NUP party, coming in with 1,446 votes, which is equivalent to 5.27%. Let's just take a look at the other candidates in Moroto district. They're standing on in Moroto district. Nandala Mafabi for the FDC party, coming in with 529 votes, equivalent to 1.93%. Frank Bulira of the RPP party coming in with 191 votes, equivalent to 0.70%. Mubarak Munyagwasi MP party with 110, equivalent to 0.40%. Of course, more updates will be coming through right here with us UBC, and of course the UBC UG poll. Of course, with more time that we'll be having, we'll be engaging with much more reporters who are across the country, giving us updates on what is happening. Over to you, Brian.
Thank you so much, Lorraine. Now, we are joining one of our reporters who is in Kanungu, and that is Crispus Arinitwe, coming to us on phone. Crispus Arinitwe. Crispus?
Yes, I'm coming to you live from Kanungu district, specifically at the district headquarters. Kanungu district is found in the western part of this country, Uganda. It borders DRC, and Kanungu district has got 164,908 voters. It's one of the first 50 districts with many voters, and has got 441 polling stations. Has got two counties, that is Chinchizi East and Chinchizi West. This morning at 8:30 a.m., the results for Chinchizi East County were officially released by the returning officer, David Mukundane. And I can authoritatively say that we have got official results for Chinchizi County East. The incumbent Member of Parliament, Honorable Chris Bariomonsi, has won. He won with 23,830 votes. In the second position is Arinitwe Samu Kajojo, who stood on an independent ticket with 20,739 votes. So Bariomonsi defeated Kajojo with 3,091 votes. In the third position, we have got Karunji Ruth Kahirwa, who also stood on an independent ticket. In the fourth position, we have got Akamfunda Akampa Wakaruma, also independent, with 90 votes. Tabaruka Arand for FDC, that is ARANF. FDC, he had 67 votes, We also have the woman Benedicto PSF with 65 votes. Natrinda Agre with 56 votes. Yamukama Alex, also independent, with 56 votes. They tied. So right now, I can say that what is still actually holding us is about 5 polling stations in Chinchizi West. We are missing their declaration forms, because ideally we should have had results for Chinchizi West already out, just like for Chinchizi East in the morning. Also, we should have had results for Woman MP also already out, but they are not yet out. The returning officer is now still trying to read the results, because just a few minutes ago, that's when we have just opened 5 black boxes for those 2 sub-counties of Chihihi Town Council and Chi sub-county, because the presiding officers did not come with the declaration forms. They closed the declaration forms in the black boxes. So, but if I can try to paint for you the picture, Kanungu district, the incumbent one for Chinchizi West, of course, we are having James Kaberuka. Preliminary results from the 14 sub-counties which make up Chinchizi West indicate he is still in the early lead, because the returning officer has been reading the results. Then in the second position, from the results so far released by the Electoral Commission, returning officer for Kanungu district, in the second position we have got John Ndungutse, a retired AIGP. And for the woman MP also, we are having the incumbent Shaba Patience. She seems to be also neck to neck with the NRM flag bearer, Betty Namara. So those 2 candidates, that's Betty Namara who is standing on an NRM ticket, and Shaba Patience with an independent ticket. They are neck to neck. So far, we don't know who is going to come out as winner for those 2 candidates for women MPs for Kanungu district. Then for Chinchizi West, we are having the incumbent James Kaberuka in an early lead, because you see, Chinchizi West has got 14 sub-counties, and so far 12 are already in. Results are already out. So results indicate that Kaberuka is still in the early lead. So until we get these two sub-counties which are remaining, then we can authoritatively know who the winner for Chinchizi West is, and also woman MP. So, but all I can say is that in the morning, after Honorable Chris Yamonsi was declared the winner, there was a victory march in Kanungu town, jubilant crowds were moving with him. So it's been an atmosphere so good for him. Then also something happened yesterday. We had a calm election exercise in Chinchizi East, except for a few isolated incidents. But for Chinchizi West, we had 1 person shot yesterday. We had 1 person shot yesterday in one of the polling stations in Chinchizi West. The polling station is called Mushunga, where a voter lady was shot by an army officer. But actually, reports indicate that the incumbent allegedly deployed guns in Nyanga sub-county. Nyanga sub-county is a stronghold of John Ndungutse. So they allegedly say that the incumbent deployed guns to disorganize some of the polling stations in Nyungu sub-county, where John Ndungutse has got a lot of support, allegedly. So what happened is Army came in to intervene to calm down the situation, and unfortunately we had a 1 voter lady being shot. So far, those are the things I can tell you as we still await the confirmation of the results from the 2 sub-counties of Chinchizi West, which are now being tallied by the Electoral Commission returning officer for Kanungu district, Deputy Mukundane.
Crispus Arinitwe, before I let you go,
yes.
How is the security situation in Kanungu?
The security situation is kind of tense, especially at the district headquarters. We have got army deployed around here because these two candidates for Chinchisi West, remember we're having a retired AIGP, John Ndogutse. We're also having James Kadaruka. These people, they actually have that kind of close contestation. Like what I've already told you yesterday, what happened in Nyungu sub-county, one accusing the other that maybe I'm the best, that kind of stuff. So here at the headquarters, we're having army deployed around here as people stayed inside waiting for the final confirmation. But I can say that we're having James Kadaruka inside. He's been here since last night, up to now, waiting to confirm his victory. We're also having John Ndogutse also waiting to confirm his victory. They have been here since last night. Also, the Minister, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, was here last night. He left in the morning after being declared the winner. So Kanungu district, if I can paint for you the picture, is it's a district which is also a bit tense, especially for politicians, because yesterday I had a discussion with the minister for ICT. He said that he was bothered by the continuous deployment of army officers on polling days, like what happened yesterday. Because even him at his polling station yesterday at Kayanja Catholic Church, we had a similar incident whereby we had polling officials who are police constables. So we had police constables at Kayanja Catholic Church, but afterwards there was a deployment of some army officers, which Chris Baryomunsi says that they had not been invited officially. So the situation is the continuous deployment of armed officers, especially during elections, somehow it affects the progress of a smooth election exercise. But for now, at the district, we have got enough security. We have got army people, they are deployed there. We have got police also deployed there. We have got politicians who contested inside here. Even we have got the women, in fact, even those coming for the district woman MP slot, they are also here. We have got Shara Patience, she's also inside here. We have got Namara Betty also inside here. They are all waiting for the final say from the returning officer, David Mukonani.
Well done, Crispus Arinitwe. Thank you so much. We shall be getting back to you later at a later stage, and you give us some of the results as they are coming in from Fort Portal. Minister for ICT, Chris Baryomunsi, bounces back.
Indeed. Now, the chairperson of the NRM in Kakumiro, who is also the State Minister for Works and Transport, Fred Byamukama, has advised winners in the just concluded parliamentary elections in Kakumiro to jointly work together to consolidate the NRM gains in the district. Byamukama, who was declared unopposed for Bugangaizi West constituency, thanked the people of Kakumiro for overwhelmingly voting for President Museveni, with over 91% of the total votes cast in Kakumiro. We have more details in this report.
Today, thank you that we have ended the electoral process for presidential candidates and women MP plus members of parliament. We are happy that the president in Kakumiro district has won with over 91%. This has been a joint effort, of course, as NRM, with the command of Regional Prime Minister woman MP and all of the NRM people. We have got 91%. And this one has been because the people of Kakumiro, they have used PDM, they have used the FOECA model, they have used government programs to get out of poverty. When you are out of poverty, you will support government. Even those of opposition have not supported NRM. It's because they are still poor. They think government can give them money every day, but also we shall talk to them so that they can benefit from government programs. They can use their land to become rich. When you are rich, you don't support government. Kakumiro district, they have a chance to support NRM because they have roads, they have schools, they have hospitals. We thank you very much. I appreciate the people of Kakumiro. They have supported Right Honorable Nabanja. They have supported Professor Rebecca for Bugangai's South. They have supported Nosimas for Bugangai's East. We have maintained our flags. This has been a joint effort, and I encourage them to forgive one another. Those have been giving propaganda that someone killed this and so, propaganda of tribalism, they should forgive another. And I caution them in the coming elections, they should be very careful, they should focus on their vote. And also, the people of Kakumina, we have ended the election. Those who have not been working, targeting money from politicians. Now the time has gone. It's high time you go back and work for yourselves, get school fees, get food at home, get welfare at home, because now politics is done, you have to work for yourselves. Thank you very much.
UBC UG polls 2026. Now, a little clarity here. Jane Ruth Acheng has won the woman MP seat for Lira City, not Lira District. For clarity, Honorable Jane Ruth Acheng has won the woman representative of Lira City, not Lira District. UBC UG polls continues. Earlier on today, we talked to one of our reporters in Bushenyi, who is Ambrose, and let's bring you up to speed of what happened.
Shema district, of course. Thank you so much. Here in the Shema municipality, Shema district, of course, where we have been following the elections of yesterday. We understand Mr. Honorable Dixon Katesumbwa has won the Shema municipality, of course, with 19,202 elections, totaling to 62%, defeating his immediate rival, Mr. Mukasa Joseph, who has garnered 9,201 votes. Of course, we understand there were 6 in the race, and of course, including Virginia Pran Mujeni of PFF. We also had Kaija Mustafa of MUP, who garnered 555 votes. Then we also had Jumbe Cheine of FDC, who garnered 96 votes. Then we also had Ichiriza Adrona, who garnered 645. That is Shema municipality, of course. When we go to Shema North, the NRM flag bearer, Honorable Elioda Tumwesi, of course, former minister, he's in the lead, or much as he's yet to be announced by the Electoral Commission, but we understand he's defeating his rival, Mr. Ndanjire Julius. Of course, we understand right now two parishes from Shema North and Shema South yet to be produced at the Tari Center, such that they can also be included in the votes, of course, currently being counted. We are also in Shema South constituency, Honorable Ephraim Kamuntu, former minister, he's leading the incumbent, Professor Elijah Musenes. Of course, we also await for the Electoral Commission to announce who the winner will be. But of course, when we go to the Shema woman MP race, we are seeing Adrian Katsine Mweresa, of course, the NRM flag bearer, taking on Jacqueline Atwaire Wabukuruku, who contested as an independent. In this race, Adrian Katsine Mweresa is currently leading according to the results that we are having. Then when we go to Mitoma, still in Gweta Bushenyi, we look at the woman MP race, where Charampe Rebecca is the NRM flag bearer, is winning the incumbent, Honorable Juliet Bashisha, who is also incumbent. Those are provisional results. In Ruhinda South constituency, Asa Kazora is leading the incumbent, Honorable Donozio Kahonda. Of course, that race is also yet to be declared. The issue is yet to declare a winner. And of course, when we go to Ruhinda Central, Otafire is leading. But here in Bushenyi, we look at the woman MP race chair, Honorable Katsime Anet Mweresa, the NRM flag bearer, she has been declared. She's yet to be declared, of course. But of course, as we understand, she's winning this race, winning her political rival, Vian Nyamyoni, when we look at Shema, Ishaka municipality, of course, Id Vasaja, the NRM flag bearer, is also winning this race, of course, defeating his other 6 contenders. Of course, we had the Katbat Kundane, also who contested as an independent. We also had Council Ndachara Nicholas, but of course, Id Vasaja is taking this race according to the provision results that we have right now. And when we go to Igala West constituency, the race is still on, much as the NRM flag bearer is slightly leading. I might use that word, slightly leading. That is Cohen Champion, who is slightly leading his political nemesis, Boniface Tugume, because we also keep an eye on that particular race. Then Igala East constituency, of course, the provision that show that Nawanda is leading. Now, in the district, the results that we have just gotten, Honorable Cadet Benjamin, former MP, is winning Bunyaruguru constituency. Of course, we are yet to get what is happening in the Katerera constituency. That is for Ruvirizi district. Of course, the NRM flag bearer for Ruvirizi district, woman MP, that was declared unopposed way back because she had nobody to contest against her. Now, when we go to Hweju district, interestingly, in Hweju West constituency, John Bosco Koi Kalisa, the NRM flag bearer, has defeated the incumbent Honorable Ephraim Viraro. That's what we got. And of course, that race has already been declared. John Bosco Kalisa has already been declared as a winner. Then when we go to the district woman MP race, Namara Anet Yamukama wins that race. And then also interestingly, and the breaking news this time is that Francis Muzichi has been defeated by the NRM flag bearer, Mr. Zadok Kamtekanga. Honorable Francis Muzichi has been beaten badly by the NRM flag bearer, Mr. Zadok Kamtekanga. That's all we had. And of course, some of the MPs have already been, the MP elects have already been announced by their respective EC registers. Now we are waiting to see how these other candidates will come out. When I will give you the updates as and when they are out. But of course, we keep an eye on this particular race. I want to hand you over back to my colleague to give you more political stories. Thank you.
For us in Bushenyi. Now let's cross over to my colleague here, Lauren.
Thank you very much. Now on to matters security. Our very own Timothy Nyangweso had a one-on-one talk with the IGP Abbas Byakagaba on the security situation across the country. Over to you, Timothy.
Welcome to this special edition of UG Polls, and today we have a special guest that we're going to be discussing, especially what has been happening in these last few days, even as we draw towards the end of these elections come tomorrow, 5 p.m., as given by the Electoral Commission. Today, I spent time with the Inspector General of Police, Afande Abbas Byakagaba, and we're going to be talking about the generality of security in these past few days. IGP, it's good to meet you. Timothy Nyangweso is my name.
Good meeting you. You're most welcome.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm fine.
How have the days been so far for you?
So far, the days are good because I'm getting very good response from the citizens.
Okay.
Very good energy from my people. And I think the equation is balancing up. We are good to go.
Congratulations, first and foremost.
Thank
a very
you.
Successful polling day. Then the first day of tallying. We're closing tomorrow. How have you managed to keep this country secure?
Well, first of all, I'm greatly humbled by our people, the citizens.
Yes.
Of course, let me also, first of all, use this opportunity to thank the Ugandans, all those who have participated in this election exercise. for really remaining civil, cooperative, and ensuring that we keep the peace so that this election exercise comes out the way it is coming out. And I'm greatly encouraged, and that's more morale for me to do more together with my people. Yeah.
Afande, I just want to quote a few things you said, especially in one of your briefings. The mandate was to secure the elections in the country, but also maintain law and order, preserving life of all citizens. What is the status of the security situation across the country, in your view?
In my view, and from the reports I keep getting across the board, the whole country remains generally stable. And this is courtesy of the efforts of all of us as security agencies, maintaining firm control over public order and ensuring that at all times there is territorial integrity. This calls for, first of all, interagency cooperation, working together, knowing that the security of, for example, the police force is tagged to the cooperation and working together with other agencies. As it is in this country, we have what we call interagency, which we really value as something giving us extra strength to ensure that we maintain the security and stability of this country.
And I'm grateful you have mentioned that, the interagency. Some of the observers, both international and national, raised concerns about the deployment. They felt like you were using a shotgun to kill a fly. Was that, they felt like it was intimidation for the people to be able to go and vote. What are your thoughts about that, and why were we overly deployed?
I think what I need to explain here is that when we are thinking about security, we must first of all scan the environment. We must carry out threat assessment, threats assessment, and our deployments are not just by waking up and putting people and other equipments in different places.
Yes.
It's out of a serious threat assessment, and also looking at our capabilities, and again, finally, knowing how to place ourselves and ensure that we remain on top of the situation in order to offer the security that we require to offer to our population. And therefore, I feel a bit uncomfortable even to use those words like over-deployment. Under these circumstances, I don't understand it, because our deployments are in consonance with our estimates, the way we look at the situation and how we should keep security. So over-deployment maybe depends on someone who is looking at it from another angle, not the angle of security. But I would also like to observe this, that even as we move around, patrolling, I've been seeing quite some cohesion, seamless interaction with the public. And to me, that is what gives assurance that actually the public is valuing our presence. And I want even to attribute the success of the exercise on the 15th of this month to that deployment and the public having their expectations met vis-a-vis the provision of security. And that's why people have been able to come out and vote peacefully without any disturbances.
You, in your presser a few days ago, quoted the Police Act and talked about Chapter 3. You went on to quote the Electoral Commission Act, Chapter 126, and talked about a few principles that were there. You talked about proportionality, legality, accountability, neutrality, but also non-discrimination. There have been a few incidents across the country. What examples would you give, and what warranted these incidents? What was the proportion net that you used as police to be able to quell them?
You see, first of all, we prepare ourselves to ensure that actually our best case scenario is not to have any single incident of law breaking, of disturbance of peace. But you know, in reality, because we are dealing with the situations where the people are not necessarily homogeneous, including within the security forces, and here and there you may have an incident where there is something happening which you never actually planned for. But on the whole, I would like to observe that generally there have been very, very few incidents. Very few, to my recollection. We can talk about what I have heard in how the reports I have received in Utambala, that unfortunate incident. The reports in Bukedi East, where one of our personnel was injured, actually as a senior security officer. A few other incidents, but on the whole, this has been a peaceful environment. And as law enforcement agencies, whenever there are contraventions of the law, never mind whether it is during elections or outside elections, measures to ensure orderliness in the country will continue to be taken.
And you have mentioned those incidents. I also want to be able to mention a few. Luwero, 3 lives there. Also, we speak about some incidents within the capital city, but about 400 people arrested. And also we are talking about some of those 400 being police officers who fall under your docket. How do you justify, how do you proportionally speak about these 4 and those 3 people that have died?
Well, maybe the beginning point, let me comment about the 4. Well, as I told you, we have regulations.
Yes.
We have standard operating procedures. We had laws which guide us in our operations. And when you fall outside that, then the institution will also take action. The bottom line is you will not commit a crime in order to stop a crime. I think we need to balance up that, and we need to be alive to that. You don't, even if you're a security officer, you don't commit a crime to stop a crime. Everything must move within the realm of the law. And therefore, we have had even to arrest our own people, and we are going to process them until justice is achieved. Now, referring to those officers who got involved in some criminality, they are still suspects, but we are going to process them until they themselves have justice, and those they could have affected also get justice. And the bottom line is that we will not tolerate any indiscipline from our side, but also will not tolerate the contravention of the laws from outside ourselves. And that is what will create a balance for us to continue having a peaceful environment for this country, even beyond the elections.
They always say that with each process there is a silver lining. Any lessons learned from this for you as the police that you see these are areas we can improve, or these are lessons we can learn to be able to be a better force that serves and protects?
Well, my immediate comment and observation is that even as a country itself, we are still moving forward, we are still building. So also the Uganda Police Force is still building. Therefore, there are areas where we need to improve, and we are going to make those improvements. And that's why you may have certain incidents where maybe I may not go into details, but there are a lot of lessons to be learned, both the good and the bad. But on the whole, I think for this season, there are a lot of good lessons to learn. There are some lessons to learn, especially during the campaign period. But how I also wish that these lessons go beyond the forces themselves, but also to our citizens, so that tomorrow we can have a better peaceful environment for this country.
Lastly but not least, the public and the police is a relationship that needs to be an ongoing. When you look at it now, how would you rate the police and the public's confidence in each other?
I think on the whole, I could say we have a lot of cooperation from the public. Good cooperation. We are not yet there. And our best case scenario would be to have everybody on our side vis-a-vis security. And we shall continue to work towards that. Ultimately, we would like to continue being useful and more useful to the population and the residents of this country. We are clearly aware that our participation in whatever we are enjoying to do has a very big relationship to the achievements of the aspirations of the citizens of this country, because we are clearly aware security is a baseline to the achievement of all other activities, and we shall continue to do that. We have the commitment. I can talk on behalf of all my colleagues, and that's the way to go. But I must observe it is still work in progress, but we are progressing very well. Finally, allow me to thank the people of Uganda for being there with us, cooperating with us, all those who have been cooperating, but also to remind those who have not cooperated very well that we still expect them to cooperate. And we shall continue to look out for them to cooperate so that we have the best environment in this country to ensure the development of this country.
Before my last question, I would like to also give the police flowers, because on two occasions, yesterday I managed to move around as we were trying to get what was happening in different polling stations. Generally, the city was calm, and also talking to different people. So credit to you and the team for making this possible. Also at the National Tally Center, very commendable job there. My final question is that this process will come to an end in May. The final results will be announced tomorrow by 5 p.m. How do you maintain that and keep confidence for the Ugandans that everything, their property and their lives will be secure in your hands?
I also again want to reiterate this, that our population, our people, should keep the confidence that they have in us, because we have the commitment, but also we will continue to demonstrate the resolve to protect them, the resolve to go for those who contravene the law legally, and we shall continue to be legal in all our actions, because we are clearly aware we must work within the confines of the law, but ultimately we must protect all the Ugandans and the residents living within this country. So far, so good. I would like to thank you for the flowers, and definitely the flowers motivate us. These flowers are not for me alone, the flowers for our team on my side, and that is motivation enough for us to continue. And this prevailing environment, we expect it to continue and continue from now and forever. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Inspector General of Police, for speaking to us. We really appreciate your time. I know you are busy, but thank you for squeezing us in.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
So that has been a conversation with the Inspector General of Police, Fande Abbas Byakagaba, and we've been talking about the security situation of the country in this electoral process. It even goes on all the way to May. And we're asking how they're going to ensure that we're safe, both in lives and property of every Ugandan. He has given us the confidence. Regardless of the results in this country, we all have one country. We cannot set it ablaze. We can build it brick by brick. From me, Timothy Nyangweso, thank you so much and have a blessed day.
Thank you so much, Timothy Nyangweso, and that has been the IGP Abbas Byakagaba giving us the security situation across the country, and so far so good. I mean, just personally, I have also seen this, how the country has, well, city center really, has been calm, quiet, collected. Of course, apart from the small other other parts of the country, but so far, from what I have seen with my eyes, it has been calm.
Indeed, it has been calm. But we have an update from, that is Lira City. Betty Amongi, who is the gender minister, has rejected the results of the race. Gender minister Betty Amongi has rejected that he has not been defeated by Jane Ruth Acheng, who is the Minister of Health. We shall be talking to our colleagues who are in the field, and they will be bringing us more updates on that.
And also, just to remind you, it is a few minutes after 2 p.m. and we will be bringing you the EC's update on the presidential vote counting, how it stands. So keep it UBC and keep it with us. For us, we are signing out for now, but our other teams will be coming in to continue to keep you updated with the developments, the voting developments, from also our foot soldiers who are in the field. They'll be giving you all that and much, much more. From myself, Lorraine Masika Kazimoto, and my dear colleague,
Brian Tumwine Biarohanga. Ciao.
We are into the political season. The atmosphere is highly charged. There is a lot of excitement everywhere you look. But elections come and go. We all remain the same people staying in this one country. We must prioritize peace. We do not want to witness violence. No one should be throwing stones. No one should be using inciting language or abusing others. No one should use a stick against a fellow citizen. No one should use bullets or even tear gas against citizens. Instead, we should sit as brothers and sisters, as Ugandans, and discuss issues that may appear different, one camp from the other. I look forward to seeing an NRM supporter sitting with an NUP supporter and taking coffee. I want to see somebody from Arua sitting down for a cup of coffee with someone from Bugisu, from Chigezi, from Buganda. Let's learn to tolerate each other, even when we have differences between us, because that's how we are created. We are not the same. What we should appreciate is that we can all live together. Uganda is big enough for everyone. So we should respect one another. We should not incite violence. We should not in any way participate in anything that breaches the peace. That's my call to all Ugandans during this season.
This campaign is proudly organized by the Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy and partners, with support from the European Union. Tuongeye, let's talk peace.
Let's talk peace. My name is Colonel Banison Desiderius Mande. I'm the Director Research and Analysis, National Counterterrorism Center. As we go into this electoral season, we all need to work as whole government, whole society, for people to talk peace and maintain peace before, during, and after elections. Uganda is for all of us. We need it secure. We need these elections free of violence.
This campaign is proudly organized by the Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy and partners with support from the European Union. Tuongeye, let's talk peace.
Let's talk peace. I'm Superintendent of Police, Bagans Patience, the DPC Dokolo. We are in for the election period, and my role as police is to provide security. However, if we are to have a peaceful election, it is a two-way traffic. The Wananchi also have a role to play in this. The catchword in this is to have an election period where everyone is to participate freely without any fear. Our commitment as police, we are going to prepare and prepare and prepare. And then we shall give a leveled ground for all of you to participate in this election. We call upon all Ugandans to keep peace during this election period.
This campaign is proudly organized by the Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy and partners with support from the European Union. Tuongeye, let's talk peace.
Let's talk peace.
Dear people of Masaka, elections must never divide us, but instead strengthen our shared vision of building a promising future for our motherland. Our call to you, dear brothers and sisters: 1. Always pray for peace.
Emirembe ekiseera kino mu byobufuzi nti abantu bali mu bibiina ebyenjawulo, oyinza okusiŋŋaana omuntu omu awagira kirala ng'awagalira kirala, naye obuzibu we buli nti awagira ky'otawagira olowooza nti mulabe, naye ye bw'ategeera naawe bw'otegeera.
Yes. So tubasaba tubeere ba mpisa, tubeere ba mirembe.
Let Greater Masaka, from the trading centers to the villages, be a place of dialogue, not chaos.
This campaign is proudly organized by the Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy and partners with support from the European Union. Tuongeye, let's talk peace.
Let's talk peace.
Hello, my name is Rosa Malango, and I serve as a special presidential envoy for tourism and trade. But before that, I spent almost 3 decades working with the United Nations and 2 years as a social entrepreneur. So I know the importance of peace for stability and for development. So at this important time, as Uganda prepares once again to go to the elections, this is an appeal that citizenship and electoral participation does not have to mean destruction. So a call to everyone to participate, to exercise their civic duties, but also to promote peace. We need peace to continue to feed our families. We need peace to be able to continue to grow. And we need peace if we really want to become the beacon of hope, tourism, and trade on the African continent.
This campaign is proudly organized by the Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy and partners with support from the European Union. Tuongeye, let's talk peace.
Let's talk peace.
As we approach the general elections in our country, the Republic of Uganda, this is a call to all the young people. The most important thing for all of us is to ensure that we keep our country peaceful. Definitely you have the right to vote.
Let's talk peace.
As we go into the final lap of the electoral campaigns and into polling, we are calling upon all the people of Uganda to conduct themselves peacefully. First of all, the candidates, we call upon you to use suitable language that shows respect and tolerance, and language that promotes peace and unity, because we are all Ugandans and elections should not divide us. So we call for language that is respectful of people's cultures, people's views, and is tolerant, because we all have different views, but we all want to have a very, very united country, Uganda, and a progressive one at that. So we are calling upon you to conduct yourself peacefully as we go into the final days of the campaigns, and on polling day, to respect the views of others and to accept the results of the elections, and know that after the elections, there will still be a Uganda, and we need each other as citizens of Uganda. I wish you a peaceful electoral process, and I call upon you to be peaceful. peace-loving Ugandans. God bless you.
This campaign is proudly organized by the Netherlands Institute for Multi-Party Democracy and Partners, with support from the European Union. Tuongeye, let's talk peace.
Well, Uganda decides, indeed, and of course this is day 2, and we are in that state where we're, anxiously waiting for the results. And of course out there, widespread failure of biometric, the BVV kits in yesterday's presidential and parliamentary election became a problem, and it's the talk of town. But again, we have some good news, yes. Right now, let's go over to Ivan Kahwa at Sembabule Tally Center to receive those updates on the provisional results.
Okay, that's enough for the afternoon. I, Arija Gracious, being the returning officer for Sembabule Electoral District, having added up the number of votes cast as recorded on each declaration of result form in accordance with Section 77, Subsection 1 of Parliamentary Elections Act, declare Rashande Emmanuel, who has obtained the largest number of votes, elected candidate for Wemiaga County constituency, Sembabule Electoral District. Congratulations.
Abanyamuyaga muhumure, batunga mugisa muhumure, batunga usinge muhumure, batunga genero muhumure, Emmanuel Rwasande nyatambira. Abanyamuyaga muhumure, batunga mugisa muhumure, batunga usinge muhumure, batunga genero muhumure, Emmanuel Rwasande nyatambira. Abanyamuyaga muhumure, batunga mugisa muhumure, batunga usinge muhumure, batunga genero muhumure, Emmanuel Rwasande nyatambira.
Electoral Commission. Right now we see Justice Simon Byabakama with his team coming in again to give us more provisional results. But there at Sembabule, it was a typical declaration where Rashande has taken, but he's actually won the wagon. So let's hear more from the Tally Center at Local.
Lord Chair and the Commission, you're welcome. And before we start this afternoon session, I would like to invite the President of the Council of Presidents of the Interreligious Council of Uganda, His Grace Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, to commit this afternoon in the hands of God, lead us in a prayer, and we begin. Your Grace, you're welcome.
This is what the scripture says. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 18. A vote is casted, and it settles disputes, and it settles among the mighty. Proverbs 16:33 says, a vote is casted in the lap, but its outcome is from the Lord. Let us pray. Almighty God, we give you thanks for who you are. We exalt you. We magnify you. We lift up your name, which is above all other names. Every knee must bow, and every tongue must confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. Master, there is no one like you. Thank you for creating the nation called Uganda, the pearl of Africa, with a beautiful motto, for God and my country. So Lord, we commit this country of yours in your hands. As we have gone through elections yesterday peacefully, we lift up your name to say, thank you, God. Thank you, King of Kings. Thank you for using the Electoral Commission. Thank you for using all their agents. And now, this is the telecenter. We pray that you take over. We render the devil powerless, and we take the devil as a captive. We pray for Uganda, let there be peace, because peace is all that we need. Justice and unity and stability. So bless us. Even as we continue to listen to the results, we pray that, Lord, you will work out this and people will go back at work, because life must continue. And the blessings of God the Father, Almighty, the Son, Holy Spirit rest upon all of you, now and forevermore. Amen.
Thank you very much, Your Grace, for committing this afternoon to the Almighty to be with us and to guide us in what is going to happen. The chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Justice Byabakama Mugenyi Simon, the deputy chairperson, Hajat Aisha Rubega, in the interest of the people that are watching, to know who is on the podium here, from the left is Commissioner Peter Emorut. Next to him is Commissioner Honorable Anthony Okero. Next to him is Commissioner Dr. Simba Kayunga Sali. Next to him is the Deputy Chairperson Hajat Aisha Rubega. Next to him is the face that you've seen and you are continuing to see, the Justice Byabakama Mugenyi Simon, the Chairperson of the Electoral Commission. And next to him is Commissioner Honorable Stephen Tashobya. And next to him is Commissioner Caroline Bright Binamaryo. And next to her is Mr. Kamshababo Richard, the Acting Secretary of the Commission. You're welcome here, Commission. Your Excellencies, heads of missions that are observing these elections, the agents of presidential candidates participating in this presidential election, representatives of political parties, representatives of the observer missions that are observing these elections, both international and local, members of the civil society, members of the media, the staff of the Electoral Commission, all invited guests here, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to this afternoon session at the National Tally Center for the presidential elections of 2026. And without much ado, I will hand over to the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Justice Byabakama Mugenyi Simon, to constitute us and guide us accordingly. Thank you very much, Lord Chair.
Our distinguished guests, maybe allow me to take special recognition of His Excellency Jonathan Goodluck, the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is in our midst. He is the head of the African Union Observer Mission to the Uganda General Elections 2026. Your Excellencies, ambassadors, heads of missions, and all distinguished heads of the various observer missions who are here with us, ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to be gathered here this afternoon once again to give you an update or a brief on the current status of the presidential elections results that we have obtained so far from various parts of the country. The first session was yesterday at 9 p.m. Today, 9 a.m., we had the second update. Now, this is the third one. Not final one, but the third one. The total number of registered voters on the National Voters Register are 21,649,067. The total number of polling stations where the Ugandans went to cast their votes yesterday are 50,739. The total number of polling stations whose results we have received so far here at the National Tally Center are 30,138, constituting 59.4% of the total number of polling stations. This is the candidate's performance as of this hour. Bulira Frank Kavinga, 29,713, constituting 0.44% of the valid votes cast for the candidates. Kasavante Robert, 20,626, constituting 0.30% of the valid votes cast. Kyagulanyi Sentamu Robert, 1,414,619, constituting 20.71% of the total votes cast. Mabirizi Joseph, 14,106, constituting 0.21% of the valid votes cast. Mugisha Gregory Muntu Oyera, 38,582, constituting 0.56% of the valid votes cast. Munyagwa Mubarak Serunga, 19,034, constituting 0.28% of the valid votes cast. Nandala Mafwavi James Nathan, 144,564, constituting 2.12% of the total votes cast. Yoweri Tuhaburwa Kaguta Museveni, 5,148,845,000, constituting 75.38 valid votes cast. The valid votes altogether for all the candidates so far are 60,830,089. 60,830,089. Invalid votes 170,655, constituting 2.44% of the total votes cast. The total votes altogether, invalid, valid, are 7,744, constituting 32.34% of the registered voters. Spoiled votes, 22,356. Now, this is the summary of the total votes per candidate so far. But now we are going to make a presentation of the breakdown of this summary on our screen. Technical, can you come and take through our guests on the breakdown of this data, of the votes, or what the results I have read to our guests this afternoon. Thank you for listening to me.
The Chair, Electoral Commission, the Commissioners, our delegates, distinguished guests and the press, good afternoon. Today I will be presenting the election results visualization system that we normally call ERVS in short. And this ERVS is the one which helps us visualize results right from the national level up to the polling station, so that at the end of the day, a Ugandan or people in this room, utilizing these 4 screens in the room, we are able to see the results that finally aggregate to what the chair of the Electoral Commission Uganda is reading as provisional results. When you interact with this system, the landing page, which we call the dashboard, has a geographical representation of the votes, where they're coming from. We have a breakdown that lists candidates depending on the leading candidate by percentage in terms of votes that they received. We have at a glance dashboard that is at the end that is able to display results right from the national level up to the region. So it will allow me to interpret for you the electoral map. As you see on the map, the colors that come up, whether it is yellow or red, this shows the different districts where we received results from the district tally centers, but we show the leading candidate at that specific district tally center that is leading in terms of the number of polling stations that have submitted the results. So that's how you end up seeing at the moment blue and red. The white there, these are water bodies. They are water bodies, and we chose white because it's neutral, as blue, which is normally utilized for visualization of water bodies, is one color for one of our candidates. The middle screen, where we see, for example, the percentages, the highest being 76.38, would display the candidate who's leading at that point. And that is what the Lord Chair has been reading out. And when we go to the region, at the moment we are displaying Uganda region, you look at the voter turnout. And here, it has changed to Kampala City region, but here we look at the registered voters in that specific region, and we see how many turned out, and we are able to calculate a percentage. If you see there, the percentage is 2%, and we're also able to calculate the number of valid votes, meaning that the difference are the invalid votes. We also look at the polling stations that are reporting. We start by indicating the number of polling stations, for example, in that region, and how many have we received results from. And the last visualization card is for specific candidates, presidential candidates in that specific region, where we indicate the candidate, what the percentage they get in terms of votes and their symbol. Allow me to drill down to, you could go, allow me to drill down. We have a section where we go to the electoral map, which allows users, for example, those on laptops in this room, to drill down to the different polling stations or districts. But for purposes of this specific presentation, we shall choose Lango. You can choose Lango region, but any other region you'd be able to visualize. So in Lango, okay, if you could hover, you've chosen Otuge. Could you go back so that we're able to see Lango as region? So it's okay. Within Lango, it will zoom, and we shall look at the different districts within Lango, but you could hover over Dokolo, for example. Okay. Show names, yes. So you'll be able to see the different ones. So if you are to hover, for example, on Dokolo, okay, so we can be able to see the performance of a candidate in that specific district. And when you look at this card at the moment, you're able to see that Dokolo has 2 constituencies, and you're also able to see the number of polling stations in that specific district, and also to know that how many of these polling stations have reported. It's the same summary, but it's broken down now at district in terms of registered voters, how many were valid votes, and also we show the trend, the performance of the candidate in that specific district, and you're able to interact in this same manner for the rest of the districts. You could, for this purpose, we shall demonstrate up to the polling station for you to be able to understand that the results that are declared at different intervals are a summation of what we get from the different polling stations. So Dokolo, you could go down to, you could choose North, 1 constituency. So the maps are very interactive. You just, at 1 click, you're able to go. So could you go down up to the sub-county in Dokolo? Constituency, North, you could choose North. And then, so you're able to look at the number of the yellow ones, or the colored ones, are the ones which have polling stations that have submitted results. When you see the ones which are grayed out or white at this point, it means that in those different sub-counties, no polling station so far has submitted results. So when you look at this, at least maybe choose Adok. Adok is one of the parishes within Adok sub-county, and we are going to look at the results at least of one polling station. And within Adok, as a parish, we see that it has 5 polling stations. So you're able to look at the breakdown in terms of polling station level, where we aggregate results from that level up to the national level. So taking an example of Odea Primary School B, at least we're able to see that we have 692 registered voters, and we had 365 valid voters with 384 voter turnout. 365 were able to have valid votes, and then the invalid were 19. But even at this level of a polling station, at least we are able to visualize a candidate who is leading, or the breakdown in terms of number of votes, which we visualize as vote count. But we are also able to look at the percentage that a specific candidate was able to receive. And you can do this for your area of interest, for your polling station of interest, and you're able to navigate across the entire country in this specific manner. So that being said, that brings me to the end of this specific presentation of how we visualize our results right from the polling station level up to the national level, utilizing the election results visualization system. Thank you so much, and Chair, back to you. Thank you. I've been asked to share information. This dashboard is live, and for the candidate agents, you're able, on your laptop, there is an icon. It's Chrome, but there's only one icon, which is there. If you click it, you'll be able to launch this specific system, and you're able to interact. The system at the moment is per the results that are read by the chairman of the Electoral Commission, and we shall be going live, as you know, but for those with internet, we shall be able to access that. For those who can access outside the country, I'll ask the team to visualize, to share with us the link to this specific system. We shall be sharing it on the screen, Lord Chair, later, so that people are able to reach this specific system. It does not require any user login, so they will be able to access and interact with the system if they have internet. Lord Chair, thank you very much, and that is the information as we share.
Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. For the moment, that's what we can share with you. And as the Director of Technical Support Services says, there are going to be a live streaming of the results per district. This, therefore, marks the end of this session. The next briefing will be at 6 p.m. after we have received more results, which we'll be sharing with you, or those who will be present, and the nation at large. Once again, a keen interest in what we are doing and the outcome of yesterday's processes, where Ugandans turned up to vote for their next president. Thank you, and see you later.
Well, that is at Lubowa National Tally Center there. We received that update from the Electoral Commission, and a part of what we know now, we stand at a 59.4% total, which is part of the total number of the polling stations. Right now, we want to go over to Kololo Tally Center, where Daniel Mugoya is on standby to give us the updates on all provisional results or declarations.
Kibiina ki National Unity Platform kye nkwasaganya nga Ssaabawandiisi. Mwena mukimanyi nti mbadde neesimbyeyo mu kalulu ka Kampala Central ng'omubaka wa Parliament. Olunaku lwajjo bannayuganda badde basuubira kulonda, naye kyetulabye mu Kampala Central ate nga tekyawukana na bitundu bingi by'eggwanga kikaabya amaziga. Ab'amawulire kirungi ebimu mubikutte, tukedde kutambula mu polling stations ez'enjawulo awamu ne tusanga nga boxes already zijjudde, ate awalala abo bakwata mundu ne tusanga nga bali mu kutiikinga obululu bwaffe, ate awalala ne tusanga nga badeployinze eggaali z'abayaaye, si gaali ennungi ffe oluusi etwogerako, naye tusanze abayaaye abakuba buli muntu yenna yenna abadde wa NUP. Era kye bakoze abo instructions nga babadde nazo, bagobye abantu baffe polling stations. Era bw'ogenda mu Kisenyi 1 mwaba basobodde ogendayo abamawulire mubaleba abavubuka abo ababaddeyo, bajenti baffe badde batuukayo bwe bati ne bakuba ne babagoba ku polling stations zonna zonna, awo ne batiikinga obululu kyere buli omu nga bw'ayagala oba nga bw'abadde ayagala. Tekikomyawo polling stations ezimu naddala Summit View n'awalala, amagye baleese amagye ne gabeera mu lines ne bakuba akalulu emirundi 8 10, buli omu emirundi gina gy'abadde asobola gy'abadde akola ki alonda. So tugumidde ebyo byonna byonna olunaku lwajjo, era bwe tumaze ne tukola ekibalo kyaffe ne tusanga nti newankubadde bakoze ebyo byonna byonna tubadde tuliidinga mu kalulu ako. Kyova olaba tusuze wano ku Tale Center kubanga tubadde tukiraba nti newankubadde babadde bakoze emivyo mingi nnyo mu kulonda, tubadde tuliidinga. Kikye bakoze, of course mukimanyi bulungi nti omuntu gwe mbadde neesimbyeyo naye ye Minisita Museveni gwe bayita Minisita Kabanda, era tubadde tumuwangudde. Ne bw'olaba polling stations zonna teri okugjako ezo ze bakoze emivuyo, togenda kusanga polling station yenna ebadde genuine nga bamulonda oba nga bamulonze. Naye bagenze ne bakwata polling stations entonotono ddala mu Kisenyi 1, ne bagenda ne bakwata ne polling stations ku Summit View, ne bagenda ne bakwata ne polling stations endala ku State House, ne beewa obululu obutabalika nga bungi nnyo nga ne bwobaani bw'oba wakulaba mu register ya Kampala Central oba tosobola kubayitako. So abantu bonna era n'amawulire gabadde gagamba Lubongoya is leading in Kampala Central kubanga bwe kibadde. Twagenze ekiro kyajjo nga tuliidinga bulungi nga comfortable win yaffe tugirina, era buli omu nga atandise n'okutuyozaayoza. Naye basobola ne banya bwe tugenze kukeera ku makya olunaku olwaleero zibadde nga ssaawa 3 ne batandika kusoma ebintu bye tutategeera gye bivudde. Ne bagamba nti ku State House awo Minisita Kabanda yafunye obululu obusukka mu 4,000, ffe twafunyeko obululu 8 bwokka. Ne webuuza awo abantu bameka balonderawo.
Okay, and that was that update from Kololo, of course, there. And, you know, the opposition is still making noise about how disgruntled they are about the whole exercise. But still, we do have some good, you know, comments from other people that are really appreciating the work of the Electoral Commission. And we know when the true results come out, we will truly know the truth. In studios, I'm joined by Counsel. He is a lawyer, a political analyst, and he's here to break down a debrief on how the yesterday exercise took place. What do we learn from what happened yesterday? The biometrics malfunctioning issue, is that really something that we should look into as we move ahead, probably as we prepare for the next coming elections? So basically he's here to break down a debrief for us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you, viewers.
A little bit of, your highlight on yesterday's performance. A lot of people were crediting the Electoral Commission. The biometrics malfunctioning was quite an issue, but then they managed to remain calm. But probably one of the challenges that really happened, and they couldn't, they couldn't harmonize on that, is a lot of people that came early to vote actually abandoned the exercise and went back home, which wasn't good.
Yes, the issue of biometrics, the mess that happened, actually managed to disenfranchise a huge number of people, because I got to know that people were at polling stations for as early as 7 or even 6. They wanted to vote and go home and do other things. But then, when there was a breakdown of the biometric machines, when the materials for voting, there was an undue delay in delivering the materials for voting at a number of polling stations, especially in the urban centers in Kampala and Wakiso. After some time, some people got tired and decided to leave. So that disenfranchised quite a number of voters. So that is regrettable. And to put it in perspective, something like this has happened previously. You remember there was complaints, there were some complaints some time back, the districts of Wakiso and Kampala. It must have been 2016 elections. For as long as like late afternoon at some polling stations, people had not received election materials to vote. So some of these delays, and then of course the mess about malfunctioning
the biometrics,
is quite unfortunate, because first of all, those biometric machines were procured at a whopping, I think the sum is like 200 billion. So they were meant to enhance the voting process.
Yes.
So that, of course, when the ballot paper is scanned, you don't have to go manual to look for someone's name on the register, which takes time. So when they malfunction, first of all, questions arise. How about that money, the taxpayers' money, in hundreds of billions of Ugandan shillings? How about that? It's a loss to the taxpayer. Secondly, now the time. And then, of course, the time that was lost between late delivery of materials, then consulting the chairman to see now the machines are breaking down, they are not functioning. What do we do? Some time was lost. And then, of course, when you start voting at midday or at 11, and then closing time is 4 p.m., you know there's a problem.
True.
Yeah, there's a limited time for Ugandans to cast their votes, their ballots.
Yeah, some people were saying that probably what brought about the malfunctioning was the internet shutdown. But then we heard from UCC's, head of PIERA, Mr. Ibrahim Bosa, there in Daily Monitor, expressing that there is no link between internet and the BVV kits.
So of course we may not know, because these machines, biometric, they are digital, and a lot of equipment these days uses really the internet.
Because you have to connect with the server from the Electoral Commission.
Yes.
Well, we will know the truth.
You have to scan and then connect to the server to authenticate the fact that this is a voter is in your system. How do you do that without the internet?
Without the internet.
Yes.
Yeah, basically. Well, that is a case that we will still have to argue about. But now, when we see, my take home yesterday was we had leaders that we could learn from, leaders that we could pick a leaf from. They came, they followed the rules, they lined up like anybody else. They didn't just surpass people that are already in line. Yes. They lined up, they made their votes, they followed each and every rule. What do you say about that?
Okay, of course, some of, despite the mess of the biometrics, this election has been largely peaceful and organized. I think we can credit the Electoral Commission for certain things, and also the behavior of some of the leaders that you mentioned, to the effect that they followed, there was discipline, and of course, when a leader follows the procedure,
when there's rule of law,
when there's law, and there's orderliness, even the rest of the Ugandans follow suit. So there wasn't a lot of acrimony, disorderliness. Of course, apart from a few small pockets where we had incidences of tear gas, but I think that happened at when the counting of votes was ongoing. In some areas, not.
But for the polling exercise,
yes, it was largely peaceful and orderly.
Now, we have a lot of people that are disgruntled. Lubongoya is speaking on verified information that he was cheated. Can we have evidence to that? Is it possible? We've already seen evidence that the exercise went on well, and people are really, happy about where we are so far. And even with the provisional results that we are receiving from the Electoral Commission indicating that there's no much scuffle. Now, can you say something about Lubongoya's accusations?
Of course, I've watched a little bit of what he had to say. He is making a number of allegations that there was ballot stuffing, that certain ballots were coming from some place. But you see, that is his narrative. There hasn't been any independent confirmation of what he's saying. And secondly, I don't, as of now, it's mostly provisional results that are coming. No winner has been declared yet. So I believe it's a little bit too early to jump to some of those conclusions. But of course, he's documenting them. And of course, if he's aggrieved, he would have to take action based on what he can verify. For now, between me and you, it's mainly speculation.
Yes, I do understand that, John. But now, we do have an interview at Luwowa National Tally Center, and we have Timothy Nyangweso there waiting on standby. Timothy, tell us, give us an update. What's happening there?
Good afternoon, sir. How are you? Good to see you. You too. The agenda?
A little bit later, but as we were still discussing, by press time, Minister Betty Amongi, Dr. Ruth Cheng were neck and neck, and we thought that probably there would be some celebration there of winning. We've seen in many telecenters, some people are really accepting the results. And this shows the patriotic, the democratic spirit that some of the candidates and supporters have.
There were some incidents, yes.
Yeah, you continue.
Yes, Honorable Betty Amongi and Honorable Ruth Cheng. We were in the studios here, and we got reports that actually Honorable Betty Amongi is disputing the results even before they have been declared. She's saying that she does not acknowledge the fact that Honorable Ruth Acheng is in the lead. So it looks like there are some issues there, but for as long as a winner hasn't yet been declared, and unless and until when we have a reporter on the ground,
we can't rule out.
We really don't know exactly what's happening. It looks like Honorable Ruth Acheng is in the lead. Yes.
And then also in Masaka, that is Masaka City, Matthias Mpuga from DF was trailing the NOPS candidate in that area. But a little bit away from that, the number of parliamentarians or the capacity of the parliament that we have in the country, we have 556 members. Yes. There's one of the candidates, his name is Luzi. He's a very funny guy, yeah? He mentioned and said, we have a very big parliament. We can trim it to about 80 or, you know. Why are we having all these people? Why should women be represented? Why should the lame be presented? So what do you say about that?
I really believe we have an amorphous parliament. It's so big. It's so big, and the fear here is that looks like government is intent on even creating more districts, because that has been the narrative that has come up during the campaign season. We've had some people talking about creating more districts, and the creation of more districts comes with the creation of more constituencies and more representatives. And of course, the public expenditure rises because you've got a new district and several constituencies and people vying for representative positions. It's unsustainable right now because
we will keep sinking in debt
exactly.
if we continue like this.
Yes.
Do you think we can come to that resolution where we can actually trim the parliament? Can we get to that as Uganda?
There have been proposals to trim public expenditure by reducing on the MP slots. We could do that. And instead of having so many of these people catering for their allowances, their vehicles, their salaries, huge salaries, that money would be channeled back into infrastructure, into education and health. I think where it's badly needed. That's what we need to do. But the question is...
But you're the lawyers. You come up with the policies and introduce them to the parliament and see if they can, you know. But you know, that needs a long debate.
Members of parliament are not going to discuss that. Because, I mean, can you discuss a motion where your seat is going to be taken away from you?
Your seat is at risk.
Yeah, we can't discuss that.
Well, that is very something that really the government should look into. Still about the performances, the presidential, the presidential candidacy. I've not had any, you know, complaints there yet. We see there's a bit of quiet in that area, but we know that President Yoweri Museveni is leading by 76.
President Museveni is leading. Candidate Museveni is leading with 76%.
But even though he's candidate, he will still be president for the next 6 months until he's sweared in.
Yes. Yeah. He's leading by 76%.
Yes, 76.
Of course, this represents of the 59% of polling station results that have been released by the Electoral Commission. So, if this percentage is maintained, it would be a resounding victory.
Very obvious.
It would be a landslide for the incumbent.
Maybe as you can see the chart there, the chart indicates that he's actually in the lead, and then Noop is coming in next there, and then the Ant So these are some of the results. Well, I can project this over.
Lastly, tomorrow is the last day. We will know the national resistance.
On our chart, we've developed something here, and just to look at the national polling station summary, yes, and 30,138 stations reported as per 2:30 p.m. today at Lubowa, and as we can see, 59.4% so far. These are some of the results that we have received so far. And of course, the current voters turnout stands at 31.5%. And of course, votes that have been cast are 6.8 million here, as you can see here. Now, based on the 21.6, that is 21.6 million voters, turnout is 6.8 million as per now. But this was declared yesterday, yes, at 9:36 p.m. Yes, and of course these declarations were made by the Electoral Commission. Now when we look at the national results summary, we see that candidate Yoweri Museveni stands at 75.38%. and Robert Chagulanyi's NUP stands at 20.71% there. And of course, those are the numbers of the votes, 5 million votes and then 1 million votes. And then Nandala Mafabi there stands at 2.12%. With 144,000 votes. And then we see Ant Monto Mogisha, Mogisha Monto at 0.56% with 38,000 votes there. And then Mubaraka Munyagwa is at 0.28% with 19,000 votes there. And then Robert Kasibante at 0.3%. with 20,000 votes. We have Joseph Mabirizi at 0.21%, 14 votes there, and then Frank Bulira at 0.4%. Now, as we go further, we look at the chart. As you can see, NRM is taking the lead by 75.38%, and then NOP is number 2 in the wagon, and then the rest of the candidates there, the rest of the parties are there, indicate that it's not moving so well, but at least we see that both NOP and NRM are really performing so well in different constituencies there. And then again, this is the total summary. Council, what do you make of these results?
The results so far are provisional, representing 59% of the 50,000 polling stations.
Yes.
So far, I think what has been captured is 30,000 results from 30,000 polling stations. But if this trajectory is maintained, looks like President Museveni is heading for a landslide, a resounding victory. Looking at the margin from 75% to 20% and the others.
Exactly.
Yes. Maybe the biggest question here is this is a big change from 2021 result. Maybe the question is why? Why are things the way they are?
True.
I have a feeling the biggest contributing factor here is peace and stability.
Peace and stability.
Peace and stability.
And of course, these are just provisional results from the Electoral Commission. They will issue the final official declarations, yes, as we heard from Rashande there.
Yes.
Yeah, in Zimbabwe, Rashande has taken the lead, and actually he's we could say right now, he has the seat for Parliament. So we will be having those, and we will keep updating you on how this transpired. Let's get back to our interview.
Yeah.
Reverend Dr. Stephen Samuel Kazimba Mugaru, the 9th Arch of Uganda, but also Chair Council of Uganda. It is your God-given opportunity to go. Some people are wondering whether this is just it. Not only that, it's a biblical mandate. Proverbs 18, the Bible says, casting a vote or disputes. So, casting a vote is biblical, God-given. Now I want to call upon all Ugandans. In the morning, wake up, go and vote, because it is your God-given. But also I want to invite that people, everybody, we keep the peace. Peace is very, very important. We belong to different parties. Ugandans, we should remember that voting is just an event. It's a seasonal thing to a time. And once it's done, we put leaders in place, life must continue. No reason of hating, no reason of hatred, or even fighting. And the security agencies, please do of protecting the people, so that after
And of course, on set, we are still joined by Counsel Joanna Kabagambe. He's also a lawyer. He's a lawyer, yes, as a counsel. He's a lawyer and also a political analyst. But then on set again, we have been joined by a man who has served different constituencies. He was in the previous constituencies, the East African Assembly. Was it called the Constituency Assembly?
The Constituent Assembly.
The Constituent Assembly.
Enacted and promulgated
and he has served democratically, and right now he is retired, NRM supporter, but also a political analyst in that angle. Thank you so much for joining the set.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure joining you.
Well, provisional results. I'll start with you because we've enjoyed ourselves here with Council. So provisional results across the country are showing that the yellow color is actually taking the lead, and then NOP is coming next. But of course, yesterday, by news time, we had some political analysts commending the Electoral Commission for handling chaos when it comes to the biometrics you know, the BVV kits. And that was something that would spark a little bit of violence, you know, at the polling stations. But now when we look at the provisional results, it's actually alarming. It has revealed unexpected outcomes, yeah, from different candidates. The ones we hoped that probably would lead the wagon or even win, in declarations, it's a different music.
Yeah, thank you very much. The trends as they are, first of all, fraternal greetings to all those that are viewing us and following this program. Thank you for making time and being part of a conversation of this nature. I'd like to salute my members of the panel and the moderator, and I'm glad to be part of this panel. What we are witnessing is not surprising. Some of us saw it coming, and definitely it confirms certain positions that we've had over time. I would like to commend the Electoral Commission for having managed a very difficult situation regarding the failure of the machines to play ball. That decision that we go manual was necessary and most desirable to avert any unforeseen trends and behavior. So that was a function of good leadership. Taking responsibility, owning up, and taking a decision. And the decision they took was...
it impacted a little bit on the voter turnout.
Yeah, it did, but it was better than taking no decision at all.
True.
Because one, it was illegally well-grounded, because the machine goes to confirm what is on the
ballot paper.
Yeah, on the voter register.
On the voter register.
And once you have the voter register, which is guaranteed within our legal framework, the machine just goes to take the verification to the highest level, creating highest levels of accountability and transparency.
Sure.
But the data is definitely one that is provided in the voter register. And once you have it, you are able to do what you can do with the machine. But with the machine alone, and you don't have the voter register, you can't do either way. So that was a very good decision. But regarding the trends as we see them, a strategic and good campaign is based on 4 pillars. And with that, you can be able to predict with some degree of precision. One, if you're going into a campaign, you must have a good candidate. Good candidate, credible candidate, a candidate with the brand visibility, brand name, brand recognition. One that appears and everyone knows this is the NRM candidate or this is the candidate for X, where you don't have to explain so many things around the candidate. So that is extremely important. And with candidate Yoweri Museveni, NRM has a formidable and highly credible candidate with a good experience, exposure, and some good degree of expertise in managing public affairs.
Besides that, this time around as NRM all together, you joined hands and rallied together behind President Yoweri Museveni. I think that was much support in different constituencies.
Yeah, and I'm going to come to that. So the first is candidate. You need a sellable candidate. And that is, he does. Now the second pillar is the message. After having a good candidate, what message are you sending? Even if you are promoting a product, even if you are promoting a service, you must have a good message that promotes the service, that promotes. So you have a candidate, a good one, but what message do you use to promote that candidate? And the message was well thought out.
True.
You know, protecting the gains.
The gains.
That kind of mantra speaks to everyone. It speaks to the high and mighty, it speaks to the ordinary people, it speaks to the middle class, it speaks to everyone. Because during his tenure, different people have made different aspects of achievements in their lives. And that speaks directly. So when you say, let's go vote him and be able to protect the gains. I just want to give one example of an interesting dimension, just university education. When I was in university, we had Makerere alone, just one university. And there are so many colleagues with whom were in senior six who didn't make it to the university because the policy was restrictive. One university, you had to get very good grades, extremely good, in order to be admitted. There are people who passed and would be able to be admitted because of limitation. They ended up not joining university, and many of them didn't even get degrees. But with the policy that liberalized university education, right now, there are those parents who would never have had their children graduating. That is a gain. There are those so many thousands, because now you get a year we graduate over 50,000. Now all those, when you talk about gains, someone graduated because of that, he's got a job because of that, that is a gain. It is elastic. It is not restrictive. There are those who have been able to get different achievements. So that message speaks to many people. And it is well informed by the different pillars that make the message. When you talk about peace and stability and security, that is the mother of all gains. And that gain appeals to each and every Ugandan. Because with the peace, you are able to do so many things. The sky is the limit. Everyone has been able to achieve. And interestingly, on a light note, one of the candidates, who is a very popular person in the creatives, very popular, and I agree, but that is part of the gain. The environment that has allowed him to thrive has been part of the peace and security. So you find that even the candidates, even being candidates itself is a gain that they need to protect as they go to contest in this election. Then from there you have development, you have wealth creation, you have job creation, you have markets, you have service delivery, and you have strategic security. Now those are the 7 pillars that make the mantra of the message. That message was so clear, it was unambiguous, was straight, it connected with the majority, it made sense, it was timely, it was most desirable. So with that, you can't go wrong. The third pillar of a good campaign are structures. Because once you have a good candidate and you have a good message, how does that message make a trickle-down effect up to the real beneficiary, the ordinary person in the village? Now, NRM has the structures from Central Executive Committee, National Executive Committee, the Delegates Conference, the district conferences, the sub-county conferences, the parish conferences, and the village conferences. Now, the message that was well packaged went through a very clear trajectory up to the beneficiaries of the message. And that message was well packaged, was scientifically arrived at, and it made a lot of sense. It was mathematical. Because we worked on the basis of numbers. We didn't want any guesswork, any projections that are not scientifically supported. So what happened is that we agreed that for us we are going to use 2 mathematical signs, the addition and the multiplication. And we totally worked against subtraction and division. So we went down to the parish where we had 63 leaders at the village level. And they got the message as packaged. And being the 63, we have 72,000 villages of NRM. Now 63 times 72, you get something like 4 million. Now that is 4 million of votes of leaders. You haven't even gone to supporters and the people that they bring. That is very scientific. So what was announced at 9 was basically a representation of the leaders before even going to the supporters and the members of the party. So with that, we went with what we called the parish mobilization model. We went to all the parishes of this country. And this was good because we engaged the entire country at the same time.
I'm allowing you to talk because you're making quite a fundamental expressions, especially when it comes to to accountable governance.
Yes.
And this is what we want. But when we travel a little bit backward in the previous campaigns, it wasn't like this. This time around, NRM did it a bit different. What broke the ice?
Yeah, you know, when you are going for any engagement, you ask yourself 3 questions. The first question is, what is it that we are doing that we should continue doing? Which means it's working. The second question is, what is it that we are doing that we should stop doing? Which means you've been doing it, doesn't add value, it's not useful, so you should drop it. Then question number 3 is, what is it that we've not done that we should start doing?
Don't you think we as the ruling party, we do have enough resources to actually support every activity, every initiative that we want to put out there? And probably the others are on the other side, on the negative side. They may not have enough resources to achieve all these, strategies that you're talking about.
No, the strategy is mainly brain work. You don't have to, you don't need funds. You just have to get the right brains. Most of the things have been done pro bono, on a voluntary basis. These ideas, we even did some survey, and the survey was initiated by members of the party, not sponsored by anyone. So you need to be strategic, you need to get the right people in the right places, to derive the right
at the right time.
So we did that. We asked ourselves those 3 questions, and we realized that we've always had a campaign team, national task force. And we are like, has it worked to the best? Are there gaps that we could fill? So this time around, we said, look, we have these structures. These structures have people that man them. You have the SEC with members, you have the NEC with members, you have the delegates conference with members, you have members at the district level, sub-county level, parish, and the village. And we're like, what is it for them in this campaign? How are we going to deliver a mass kind of message without involving the structures? So this time around, we had...
You had to go back to the round table and revise.
We've never used the structures. And that's why we are making it good. Because the structures owned the message, the structure owned the process, the structure owned the procedures. And we gave them tasks.
True.
Because we said you are 63 on the village. Can you fail to get 2 people to convince?
Okay.
We told them, we gave them a task that each one of you should bring at least 10 people.
Now that was very strategic.
And from that we said, where do you get the 10 people? He said, you can get 10 people from your family, immediate or extended. You can get people from your place of work. You can get people from your OGs and OGs. You can get people from the church, the mosque, where you go to pray.
And Honorable.
You can do so even in the neighborhood.
Honorable, when we look at the previous campaign, it was 81-point-something million voters.
Yes.
So it shows that a lot of awareness was actually made to capture a 21.6% million voters.
Yeah, the Electoral Commission has done its bit in terms of awareness creation, in terms of mobilization, in terms of engagement to ensure that people do take up their civic responsibility, come out and be part of decision making, because that is the highest level of rights. When we talk about rights,
Council, I'll get to you in a while.
Very important.
I'm still interested in some of these areas that I think that our Honorable Mike can actually express more. Now, the issue of before you came in, we had talked about the capacity of our parliament, 556 members, and it looks like we're having more constituencies being developed in the near future. Don't we think, as small as we are, Uganda, do we really need that much of a big, parliament, considering the fact that we are debt burdened?
I belong to the school of thought that is in favor of a small, efficient, and effective parliament that is well facilitated, that is well supported in terms of research, in terms of... So I'm not quite excited about the numbers. And that is creating a bigger problem.
True.
Because now people are looking at parliament as the fastest means to amassing wealth. So it is becoming careerism. It is losing the service element. I want people who are ready to serve effectively and efficiently. One, the bigger the parliament, the less the unit time for
and
contribution.
We can borrow leave from,
even
contribution. From the African region.
Because right now, they give you 3 minutes. What is the quality and quantity of that debate of 3 minutes? Even before you finish your preamble, the bell has gone.
Bell has already
so for me,
rung.
I'm not in favor of a big parliament. I really want us to get a parliament that is efficient and effective.
But trimmed down from 556.
To good numbers, because the numbers don't really add much in terms of the quality of debate, the quality of the laws, and all the other. So
some of the parliamentarians finish up their tenure without speaking a word.
Very many of them have not even made their maiden speech, and we are now campaigning for the next session of a parliament.
So now, as a political analyst, how can we harmonize on this situation? How can
I think we really need to come up with a constitutional provision where we can we can even work it mathematically and say per every so many people we can have one MP. It can be a quota kind of arrangement.
Okay.
Like for instance, we have districts. For me, I wouldn't even lose sleep if we have like 150 something districts and we get 2 MPs per district. For me, that would be, because it is what they project. You don't have to be close to people to know the problem within the bigger area. So that those 2 are well paid, they are given assistance, they are given researchers, you know, like it's done in many other places. That would be my honest opinion. And with that, we would even make parliament cease to be an opportunity for amassing wealth. Because there are people now who make big money. Some people even use big money, regardless of where they get it from, and they want to use it to get into parliament, clean up the money. Some of the money may be bad money, maybe even bloody money, but someone just uses it in a campaign, goes into parliament to launder, and they make it safe. We are going to get to a point where if you are not a billionaire, you can't make it to parliament.
Definitely.
People are selling houses, people are mortgaging themselves. I don't think that is desirable. We can do better so that we attract better brains to go to politics than attracting moneyed, and the monetization of politics does not do us good. So for me, I would really go for a smaller, thin, well facilitated, well supported, efficient and effective parliament.
Now,
and with that, you don't need numbers.
True. Back to council. The will of people remains the key in democracy.
Definitely.
So when people decide, then there is no reason to say we got the wrong leader, because it's their mandate, you know, as citizens, as Ugandans, to actually choose the leaders of their choice. Looking at what's happening right now, looking at the provisional results that are coming in, what do you think? Are people making the right decision? Are they... let me put it this way. During the campaigns, we saw a lot of people rallying behind different candidates.
Definitely.
And you'd think that they would be taking the lead. But now we see these specific candidates are really just following the wagon. Are voters camouflaging as, yeah, and when they go to the ballot, they are picking someone else?
Well, there's been a lot of bandwagon effect. A certain presidential candidate is coming in my area. So borders and everybody.
So that is arranged.
Sometimes it has been like actually a music show, sometimes. But when it comes to taking that presidential candidate, I have a feeling many Ugandans are actually taking, polling or voting for peace and stability.
Okay. Okay.
I have a feeling that's the biggest, because when you look at this country, in this era from 1986 to present, this is the time when Uganda has been stable and peaceful.
Yeah.
The fact that you can come to work, any other person across all sectors, the informal sector, the middle class, everybody, peace and stability are the most important key elements of any country. In Uganda, we are attracting refugees from the region, far and beyond. Why? Because of an enabling environment that has been created. So we cannot negate, we cannot downplay the importance of peace. As a child...
Just to put something little on the refugee, at one point, Uganda was a net exporter of refugees. If you went in any capital around neighboring Uganda, you'd find refugees are Ugandans.
Yes.
Now Uganda is a net importer.
Yes.
It's a net importer and hosting the biggest refugee settlement.
Yes, from the Horn of Africa, from the Great Lakes region.
About 2 million
everywhere.
people.
Yes.
That speaks volume.
Yeah. By the time someone leaves Eritrea to come here, and all these other countries, the biggest attraction is peace and stability.
And some people are complaining, but there's a lot of poverty around. But I think when there's enough peace, there's more time to make money. There's more time to buy land. There's more time
I'll tell
to
you
build,
this. Peace of
to
mind.
develop, yes.
You see,
there's a time, I was coming from an overnight at around 3 a.m. and I was on a border. And some trucks were passing, they had, goods, charcoal, pineapples, watermelons. And now these are the trucks that I'm seeing in the night. But when we talk to our grandies, they say in times like those, you'd see trucks of military and, so there's, if you have the peace of mind, then you can relax and hope for the future. Maybe the situation, because I don't think someone who was in poverty in the past years when General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni came into, government, that they're still poor. The trends change. Sometimes you may not move from glory to glory, but at least if there's peace, if there's time, if you are allowed to have time, because people in Somalia do not have time.
Exactly. So let me just tell you this. Around 2001 elections, 2006, candidate Kizza Besigye used to score a lot in northern Uganda because that was a war-torn area. But when peace returned, people were thankful.
And the
that
conversation changed.
Yes. You see, 2021 elections, the story was different. And it's playing out even now. Talking about poverty, as a child, of the 10-point program of the NRM, the one I was most attracted to was building an independent, integrated, self-sustaining economy. Because I felt that when you have that in place, Uganda is going to develop faster. But as I grew, I got to know that the conducive environment for that independent, integrated, self-sustaining economy is peace and stability. Without that, you can't.
The mother of everything.
You can't do anything.
Now, me, per se, I didn't own a home in 2021. But now I have a very beautiful home. And I've managed to give birth to 8 children.
You're
because
protecting the gains.
I'm hoping for the future.
Those are the gains. That beautiful home, the children that you've given birth to, And the way you are looking after them, they
Yes,
are
true.
immunized,
Mm,
they don't have any threats of, you know.
Who is the guarantor?
And I'm thinking
for
when
that?
these people get to the ballot, when they get the ballot paper,
Yes.
they're asking, why change?
Exactly.
That's the question. Is there a reason for me to change?
Yeah, because now if you're talking about the things they normally talk about, they talk about corruption. Any leader would have to grapple with that. And corruption is in the civil service and these other areas. But the single most important fundamental issue is peace and stability. If you are in the commercial sector, the working class sector, you need an enabling environment for you to go about your work, to go about your business. So I have a feeling when someone goes to the polling station, it's a sobering environment. They say, what am I voting for? I want to be able to work, to go about my business, to protect my family. You understand, that is the most important thing. And candidate Museveni is the guarantor of that.
Exactly.
For now, Uganda has been peaceful. During the COVID pandemic, he used to say, I used to watch his speech, and then he would say that in the Great Lakes region, 500 years of the Great Lakes region, Uganda has been most peaceful during the time of 1986 up to present. I used to meet people from the region, Kenyans and others, and then they would talk about during the time when a leader would come and would be in office for 2 months, 8 months, and is out.
And
there's
is
a
out of
coup,
that
there's
office.
what? You see, from 1986 up to present, I mean, investors have been coming here. The economy has grown. There's been a lot of the tax base widening. So I have a feeling. Of course, the other thing is from least developed country now to middle income. All those are gains that are worth protecting.
True.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, another thing, Ugandans have matured politically. They simply don't want to gamble. That is at the back of their mind. Their sense of judgment is much higher than was before, given what they've gone through. At one point, they knew Uganda is a deserted country. God forgot about it.
It was a failed
now
country.
they know it can be a peaceful country, there's hope. And we live in hope. That's how we progress. Because when you have hope for tomorrow, you work hard, knowing that you are going to build the house, finish it, live in it, and bear 8
more
children, and they grow out of it. You know, that is what sustains life. Yep.
Maybe supplementing on that, Uganda was a failed state before 1986, along the lines of Somalia.
Yeah.
It was a failed...
And the DRC.
Definitely, it was a failed state. But now, when we look in the region, Tanzania, Kenya, when you're comparing the economy of Uganda with those countries that were actually stable from independence, they didn't have the kind of political upheavals that we've had.
Leadership.
Yeah, right now, when you're comparing Uganda, it's like comparing one person who is slightly taller than another. So a lot of gains.
In terms of stability.
In terms of even the economics of the
Ours is the fastest growing economy.
Fastest
now
growing, Kenya being the
and
giant.
Our currency is the most stable currency globally.
Yes.
Now Kampala is a regional capital. It is a regional capital.
Yes.
When you talk about a tourism city, it is a diplomatic city. all different meetings, agreements, consultations are done here. It was Nairobi that was enjoying that.
Honorable, we're going to come back to that. We also have a number, we have a question there about the big number of incumbents that are dropping out a little bit. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's go back to Zimbabwe, where our reporter Ivan Akawa is on standby to give us what's happening there at the Tally Center.
Where the returning officer has just declared the results in the 4 constituencies in Zimbabwe district and the woman representative of Zimbabwe district. As we speak, the NRM has swept all the constituencies and Zimbabwe district. In Zimbabwe district, Florence Nambazira has won the woman MP seat. But let's first talk to some of those who have gotten victory today, including Aine Sodo, who is the member of parliament for Mawogola North. Then we have Emmanuel Rashande, who has won the NRM seat, Rwemiyaga County. Then in Mawogola County, it is Desi Biuma who has won it. Mawogola West, Hanifa Kawoya has won it. So the 4 constituencies are having NRM candidates, are having NRM winners, and the Zimbabwe district as well. As you can see, the returning officer is done with the process of declaring all the winners, and the winners now are finding their way out. All the supporters are waiting for them. It is chanting, it is all happiness, it is all victory. Zimbabwe has spoken, Zimbabwe has voted their favorites. Here are the winners. That is Desi Biuma right there. Desi Biuma, the one in yellow. He has passed. Then other winners are also moving. I can see the likes of Toyota moving with the winners. This is yet another moment. The winners are moving out. Everyone is excited. 5 NRM members of parliament. It hasn't been an easy one. Since yesterday we have been at the Tally Center. It is until now that the results have been declared, and at about 2:44 p.m. that is when we were able to know who the winners in these specific districts are. We are going to be talking later on to the winners who have been declared by the returning officer at the Zimbabwe district returning officer. Well, the winners are coming out and we are going to be speaking to some of them. Well, I don't know who will come out first, but whoever comes out first is the one we are going to interact with. That is Aine Kaguta, the winner for Mawogola North. That is Sodo Aine Kaguta, right there, being chanted. Congratulations, Honorable.
Thank you, thank you.
You have been declared winner. What's your next step? Speak to your voters.
Of course, it's to work and nothing else.
Thank you so much. Well, that is Aine Sodo Kaguta. He's a man of few words, just to work for the voters. Well, I will be speaking to other candidates, to other winners who have been declared winner. That is Sodo Aine Kaguta, who was in the race in the Mawogola County North race. He was contesting with other 5 that include Chigongo Francis of the Forum for Democratic Change, Chigonya Angela of the Democratic Party, Liazi Moses, PFF, Tumweba Zedjet, Independent, Twine John, also independent. We are still witnessing the exit of some of the people who have already won. Mawogola North was a tight one because many people had contested for that specific seat. Right there I'm seeing Honorable Hanifa Kawoya seems to be coming out. Hanifa Kawoya, the elected member of parliament from Mawogola West. Right there, Hanifa Kawoya coming up. Hanifa Kawoya right there. Hanifa Kawoya and the yellow lady, Florence Nambazira. These two, right there. Hanifa Kawoya and Nambazira have won the election. Well, the supporters are so happy, chanting with their winners. Well, the happiness that comes to winning, that's the happiness that comes with winning. Oh, that's the happiness that comes with winning. Honorable, congratulations. You have been declared winner. Kindly speak to your voters. What are you going to do next?
I am still a member of parliament. I'm a sitting member of parliament. So I am continuing with my work and still as a Minister of State for Minister of Health, and I am continuing with the President's program.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. Well, that is Honorable Hanifa Kawoya, who has just spoken to us. The people are excited here. I know the noise is too much, but we shall try and get each one of them to speak to at least those who have already been declared winners. We have so far had a word from Sodo Aine Kaguta. We've had a word from Hanifa Kawoya, and we are still figuring out if we can get hold of any other candidate or any other winner who has been declared this time around. 5 members of parliament representing the NRM in Sembabule district. Winner of Rwemiyaga County, he has won Theodore Sechikubo, Megade Joseph Amoti, and Ainebiona Innocent. We are going to be speaking to the general. I think he is undergoing a photo opportunity. He is speaking with some people. Well, that is General Emmanuel Rashande.
Well, as you can see, a victory over there in Sembabule. 5 constituencies, and they've all been swept off by the NRM party. There we've seen Hanifa Kawoya, Rashande, Daisy, Biuma, and many others there jubilating, and then voters supporting and chanting victory. Quite interesting there. Thank you very much there, Ivan Kaho. Now back in studios, still with Honorable Mike Sebalu, Kennedy, NRM supporter. He has served this country for quite some time, and he's very knowledgeable about, politics. He's a political analyst. He's with us, he's at the far end, and then next to me, it is Council political analyst as well, Council Joel Kabagambe. Council John Kabagambe. He's a lawyer and political analyst, and I've been enjoying myself with these 2 gentlemen. He joined us a little bit later, but again, we both, had already spiced the interview. So I just need, what's your take from that declaration? Because now it's no longer provisional results. Now these are declarations. So what's your take home?
These are confirmed results. clearly, Sembabule is still yellow. Sembabule is an NRM stronghold. That's what it means.
Was that the same performance in 2021?
Yes, it was. Sembabule has been that. We cannot call Sembabule a swing district. It's still a yellow district, and the results confirm. The fact that 5 slots of members of parliament have all been swept by NRM, it speaks a lot. And it also